Better. Hey, our next guest is going to be Ken McClinton, and I kind of talked about it a little bit what we're going to be talking about. But Ken is involved with a venture of mine. Full disclaimer, I am a part of it. It's called Move On Up Television, and I brought Ken on to talk a little bit about it, and a pack that he is a member of started also called Build Now Pack. Mr. McClinton, how are you?
It's a great pleasure to be on the air with you, Chris.
Oh, your check is in the mail.
And I send my best and love to Becky.
Ah, great. Well, she's not listening. Well, she may be listening online. She's in beautiful Branson, Missouri, about 3.5 hours away. Hey, we've got in the studio with me as a good friend. I don't know you heard Mark Harder. He's a St. Louis County councilman, and he may chime in and ask a couple of questions if you don't mind.
That's not a problem at all. It's a pleasure to talk with you, Mr. Harder.
Great. Oh, go ahead.
No, don't.
Okay. Hey, Move On Up Television is a venture that we kind of we've put together over here the coming months, and we're looking to launch that real soon. Tell us a little bit about Move On Up Television, the Exceptional Conservative Network, and Ken McClinton, all in about 10 seconds.
Oh, all in 10 seconds. Well, I'm an urban conservative who believes that time is now for change. If we're going to make America great, we need to make all of America great. And that requires us to go into the heartlands of urban America with the conservative message, with a serious invasion of media. And that requires us to make some heartfelt consideration. And that's basically what I'm willing to do with my own network, the Exceptional Conservative Network. And so I'm greatly pleased to be able to work with you in this partnership in terms of spreading the good news of conservatism to urban America.
You know, it's what I said earlier. You know, you watch CNN, Fox, MSNBC, and you do see, you know, black conservatives. But anything involved in media, there's only going to be so many slots. And what we see on the cable news channels are the same black conservatives over and over. And it kind of gives the impression that a lot of black liberals and a lot of people have that there aren't a lot of us, or we have a real influence. And that's why I wanted to put this network together, because I've seen your show, I've seen all of the lineup shows that you have lined up, and these are articulate, very knowledgeable people that I'm sure America would like to see.
Exactly, and that's one of the great joys of being able to work with Willie Lawson and Shannon and Michael Wright and Randy and April Purim and Lacey Steigerwald. They're from all over the country. They are a myriad in diversity of the conservative opinion, the majority of them being African American, or black or Negro, however way you wish to say it. But the bottom line is that we share one common role here. We are conservatives in America, and we believe that our message is a winnable message. It just requires a great deal of us to begin taking our eyes off of the singularity that comes with Fox News and everything else, and begin putting it on individuals like Stacey Washington and others who are spreading the good news of conservatism around the country. The unfortunate thing is, with a Stacey Washington out of St. Louis, it's very easy for the left to shut us down. They just censor you or get rid of you. On Fox News, where are the African Americans and others who believe in the same very thing? So basically, it's very difficult for individuals to even get into, and which is, I'm very grateful for you having a spot on this particular network, but it's very difficult for African Americans or others to get into blocks like this because they are filled up with Laura Ingraham and Hugh Hewitt and Rush Limbaugh and Hannity. So it's not going to be very easy for people to get that message that there are others like us that believe this stuff.
Yep. And tell them this, Ken, you know, these aren't the guests that, you know, your shows, that your other hosts are going to be having on. I mean, they're going to be notable people that the public has heard of before. Tell some of the people, some of the guests that the names that they would know that you've had on your show in the past, or some of the other shows that you've had.
So I've had Alan West on my program. I've had Dr. Alveda King. I've had Tony Shaffer, and a litany of great General Paul I forgive me, I forgot his name just like
okay.
But there are a litany of great guests that come on our programs, and people are tuning in, and they can find us at Move On Up Today .tv or TECN.tv, or they can just go to Enit Live TV, ENETLIVE TV, and they can find us on that particular network. And we are spreading the good news, and it's not like something. It's not foreign to us. It's not something that we have to study all day long and kind of figure out what we're going to say at the end of the night. Now, and you mentioned earlier that there are conservatives on Fox News. I bid difference with that. There are very few conservatives left on Fox News. If people really want a conservative viewpoint, a message that spreads the good news, they need to be able to tune into outlets like ours to get that particular message.
Excellent, excellent. Now, you also have been named the vice chairman of a new organization that is designed to help your efforts, called Build Now PAC, and that's a C4 based there in Virginia. Tell us a little bit about Build Now PAC.
Well, Build Now PAC is a federally registered hybrid super PAC, and our mission is threefold. One is to develop strong and support strong candidates for victory in urban electoral politics. The second one is to promote a strong urban American policy agenda to federal, state, and local government stakeholders. And the last one is to fund and support alternative media groups in urban America. The bottom line is this: socialism has failed. We can look at Detroit. We can look at Illinois. We no longer have to look at Chicago. We can look at the entire state of Illinois. We can look at California. Socialism has failed. And that there are a number of African Americans. In fact, 14% of African American men voted for Donald Trump this time around because they have given up on the proposition that somehow government can secure us and make us stable in life. Not possible. So what we're trying to do is begin to, since the only thing that people recognize is winning, is find very strong candidates to help them run for office in urban America. Now, you cannot find someone 3 months before the general election and put them up there and then tell them the GOP will fund you. That's not going to happen. That's not reality. So we have to be able to work with candidates right now, finding candidates right now before the primary elections of 2018, to put them into place and to give them the messages that are necessary to win in urban America. Winning is the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that will give you power, influence, and access. Winning does that.
That's right.
And the other thing is that the GOP, unfortunately, has been working for a long time on presenting an urban America policy message to Donald Trump. They tried in February, but they were blocked out by CPAC. They tried in June, but vacations came up. The bottom line is, if you keep waiting for the GOP to do something for you that you can do for yourself, you will continue to fail.
Amen.
Victory and winning is the only thing that matters. And we have to begin winning, not only in the boardrooms, but we have to begin winning in terms of getting our message out and finding other alternative urban messengers on news sites like this one to begin speaking that, and we would like to help to develop that process.
Excellent, excellent. Hey, Councilman Harder has a quick question for you.
Hey, Ken, how are you today?
Great. Thank you.
Hey, I really appreciate what you're trying to do. I think it'll be a great endeavor, and it's amazing. I was just sitting here listening to you and Chris talking, and I just came up with 4 names right here. Just took them a minute of great black conservatives that are out there that you could have, and maybe you have these on your short list. I'm thinking of Allen West. Would be a good one. Stacey Washington, you talked about that. Walter Williams, great economist. Thomas Sowell. I mean, all these folks that have been around, but they never get traction in the urban environments, and they don't seem to get traction in areas where they need to get traction. They seem to be pretty popular in the suburbs and in white middle class areas, but they don't seem to get the traction in these urban areas. And I think what you're doing will hopefully push that issue in many ways. And I think also by spotlighting these types of folks that are out there sends a message into the urban community that there are these people out there, and they've been so brainwashed that there aren't these people, maybe one or two people, but there aren't the amount of people I'm sure you guys can come up with.
I get people, hold on just a second. I get people when I talk about black conservative movement to other black people, they laugh because they think there's like 6 of us. You could fit all of us in a phone booth.
Right.
Go ahead, Ken.
No, you're absolutely right. The one thing I've realized is that for us to win in urban America, we have to nationalize every single race. And we have to make certain that the wealth of the nation is poured into those particular communities, just as you will need to send federal officials into Chicago in order to dispel the killing. Well, in order to dispel the losing of the GOP in urban America, you have to begin fortifying great individuals like Stacey Washington, like Jeff Dove out of Fairfax County, who's running for Congress, and others. There are a litany of urban conservatives that say, hey, I really would like to put my heart, my soul, and my wealth into doing this. I just don't think I can win. And winning is the only thing that matters. And so we're looking for those from around the country to support us in this particular effort, because in order to break down the barriers in urban America, we have to make a very strong case.
Yep.
That case can't be made with waiting for someone to come on the air at 2 o'clock in the morning on WWDDD somewhere out in the heartland. It's not going to happen that way.
Ken, we're about running out of time. I appreciate your passion, brother. You know that. I want you to give out your the website and everything so people get a hold of you or can reach you.
Yes, you can go to BuildNowPAC.com, BuildNowPAC.com. Thanks a lot for having me on.
And the network is MOUtoday.tv.
That's right.
Ken, I appreciate it, brother, and I'll be talking to you. Have a happy 4th of July Independence Day.
Happy Independence to all.
Thanks, Ken. And we'll be back with the final 15 minutes of this segment with the councilman, and we'll be discussing some St. Louis County business.